According to the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, indicates that over 40% of women have experienced physical or sexual intimate partner violence in their lifetime. Most people tend to stay in unhappy marriages because of threat of physical violence, further emotional abuse, harming their children by depriving them nuclear family, and the concern of how family and friends will perceive them. Mercy, not her real name, a single mother of 3, thought she had found her life partner when she met a foreigner 21 years ago.
22 years ago, I had just finished high school and I met this man. I was working, by that time, I was working in a salon. And I met this man, who was around 15 years older than me. And he approached me at some point, because the man was not a Kenyan, he was a foreigner from Congo. In my heart I felt, why should I get involved with this man? Could he possibly have HIV? And at some point I tried to avoid him. I thought it was love. The guy kept on coming and outside my door, and he could come, outside the gate of the salon, and he could really be very persistent. So he kept on coming back. After some weeks, I discovered that I was pregnant.
After getting their first kid, the once loving man changed and became a toxic and insecure man.
He had started now kind of isolating me unknowingly. This thing I do not know, but I've been in he started isolating me. Like the church I used to go, he could not allow me to go. By that time I had my baby already. He was already past 6 months. In the church, you see the way the baby will start now crying. I decided to walk out. Had left, there's a man who had left also with a baby, and it so happened, like in that church, there was a small room for the babies. So you see, he's there in church getting so uncomfortable, and knowing that it's like I've already communicated with this guy that I go out, then he follow me, I didn't know. And then he's like, you came out with that guy, you must tell me what was going on and why you had to disgrace me. So of course, that's when the abuse started.
More so, her mother told her to persevere because those were some of the challenges in every marriage, and she feared how the church and society will perceive them if their daughter walked out of her marriage.
I saw my mom tolerate it. I saw my grandmother doing it. So how was I different? So I tolerated his temper issues. But now the battering, now when it started, when my child was only 6 months, and that time I was kind of alone. I'm the eldest in our home. The eldest girl, in our home. And I had to persevere. Why? I have been like kind of obliged, or rather given a burden on my neck. Since I'm the eldest, I should set an example, like I should set a pace. I should be an example. So I am being an example by staying and acting like everything is okay. His neglect started. And because of his insecurity issues, I had even stopped working. So I was not working, I was not going to work. So I was dependent on him.
Dennis Otieno Owor, Senior Legal Chairperson in the Access to Justice team at Federation of Women Lawyers, says that most gender-based violence cases happen in family setups, in relationships and marriages.
Predisposed people to gender-based violence are usually quite several, but the main ones, you'll find that a lot of gender-based violence happens more so in family setups. We will find these are intimate relationship settings, either family or marriage relationships. You'll find that this is where a lot more numbers will be recorded, such that we have a lot of domestic violence that occurs.
Additionally, Orr says that civic education to the masses is key in mitigating gender-based violence incidences, stating that the society needs to know the importance of respecting an individual's dignity. He urges the government to be in the front line in providing civic education to the public in order to reduce gender-based violence.
Civic education is key, educating the masses. How do you educate the masses? The importance of respecting one's dignity, the importance of respecting this person's personam. Like this person, by virtue of being a human being, you need to respect and honor them as a person. And the best way is to ensure that the communities actually understand that it doesn't matter if this person is a man or a woman, they need to be respected regardless.
Mercy finally got help from FIDA, where she was counseled and she managed to heal.
When I started the journey, the counseling journey, that is when I realized that it was important for me to start loving myself. And when I started now looking at myself and looking at what I should accept, tolerate, and how I should protect my boundaries, that is when I started getting more psychological stability. Because even after I stepped out, of course he tried to pursue me, but with the realization that I'm going to put myself first, I got the energy to resist. I think about the women, the things that they are going through in the so-called marriages, I will say in quotes. Why? Because I believe a marriage should not be a place for violence.
Gender-based violence has become an issue that cannot be ignored anymore. Let's join hands to end gender-based violence. Reporting for Capital FM, I'm Ann Kamau.